Hello, welcome to the first of these feedback videos, which I'm going to be recording to give you some feedback on your comments on the discussion boards. I apologize, this is a little late in the week. I'm recording this on Thursday and your comments were due in on Sunday. It's taken me a while to figure out my way around the recording equipment and even how to get a webcam working on my computer. So this first video will be feedback on your discussion about the question of the consequences of the Neolithic agricultural revolution. Arguably, the most important event in human history completely changed people's ways of life from being hunter gatherers to being settled agriculturalists. There's way too many to list. I'm just going to mention the main ones. Firstly, people settle down. If you're farming, you want to be with your crop, with your animals. Hunter-gatherers need to wander to follow the food supply. Agriculturalists need to stay where they are to look after their crops and their animals. It's possible to have far more food when your food supply is predictable because you're managing it. You can have more of it, so you can support a bigger population. And also, there's a surplus left over. You're not just providing enough food to get by, you have something left over. With a surplus, this leads to all sorts of changes. The specialization of roles. Not everybody has to be a hunter or a gatherer. You can have potters or weavers, all sorts of people who are not directly involved in food creation. The surplus left over to support them to do jobs which are important to the community, which need special skills. So we're seeing specialization of roles resulting out of having a surplus. One aspect of that specialization is there's a new group of rulers who emerge, probably beginning with people who are skilled managers, and they say to the rest of the community, really, we should get some of that surplus because we're so much better at running things than you. You see an evolution of a ruling elite. In hunter-gatherer societies, there's a lot of equality. It's equality of poverty, but it's equality because there's no surplus. With agricultural societies, the surplus can create the existence of a ruling elite. Related to that is also gender inequality. In hunter-gatherer societies, women and men had different roles, women tending to be the gatherers, staying near the home, and men tending to be the hunters or those involved going further from the home. But there's no evidence that men and women were seen as unequal in status. With Neolithic societies and agriculture, that surplus is creating a ruling elite, also leads to male domination. The men tend to have more public roles outside of the house, and they tend to be this new governing group, and men tend to have authority over women. Related to that is private property emerging. Men want to pass their property on to the next generation. Therefore, they want to control women's sexuality to ensure that their children really are their children. Finally, organized religion seems to emerge with the move to agriculture. There's evidence of some kind of spiritual life in Paleolithic hunter-gatherer societies. Things like, for example, cave paintings suggest they have some kind of higher cultural activity which may be related to religious rituals. But with the formation of a surplus and an elite class, you now also see a full-time priesthood and permanent temples, permanent religious buildings. Finally, although people are eating more, they're getting more calories. The Neolithic diet was probably less healthy. Paleolithic people had a broad range of food they hunted and gathered, giving them a varied diet. Most of the population, with the exception of the elites, in Neolithic agricultural society are basically eating carbs. They have more calories, but a less healthy diet.